Oh, well, I might as well do the
Phil,
right
we're
thing.
not hearing you as clearly as usual.
Are you not? I'll try and speak up.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know why, but the sound was fainter than usual from you.
Oh, that's because I was whispering. Or mumbling, more like. I was mumbling. Which is, it's jewelry for mothers, isn't it, mumbling? Hey, there'll be more of that type shenanigans. Because it's Mother's Day on Sunday, is it not? Yeah, yeah. So welcome to Poets Out Loud meets Speakeasy Online. It's March 2021, and I think this will be the last one of the 12 months of being on Zoom, and the next Speakeasy will be our anniversary of being on Zoom for the first time. So, wow, a year's gone by, so my goodness. As I say, Fernando Smith sent his apologies, and he can't make it this evening. And David Bamford also sent his apologies for not being able to make it this evening, and so did Dr. Richard Cook and a few others. So, but we'll muddle on. And Annie Kendall says she might pop in later on when she's finished her shift. Notices there's the John Hegley event about John Keats on 20th of March at 10 a.m. I know some of you have given us an email over at Cold U Press, but if anybody's interested in that, give us a shout. It's free, which is very kind of John Hegley, because he said he's enjoyed watching the Zoom recordings of all the Speakeasy and Poets Out Loud shenanigans and bits and pieces that we've been sending across to him. And he's going to do a sort of a half an hour set of some material inspired by John Keats. And there's a friend of his from Italy. She's going to join in and do some of her poems, also inspired by John Keats. Then there'll be an opportunity for Q&A and possibly a workshop as well. I think it sounds really cool, and it would be great to get as many people from Speakeasy to join in. So,
can I just check? Are you recording it? Because I would love to hear the recording. Unfortunately, I can't make it. I'm so disappointed. Double booked on Zoom. How can you do that?
We'll ask John Hegley and see what he says.
Yeah.
And if he does it again somewhere else, we'll have to tell you when it is, and you can.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. Thank you.
That. But yeah, we'll ask him, and we'll get back to you on that one. Any questions? Not any questions. I mean, relating to that really would be ideal. Okay, let's get on with it. So this is a poem. It's always a good start at a poetry thing, isn't it? A poem. This one's about imagination. It's called Imagination, and it goes like this. Thoughts tumble and scatter, landing on the page, cartwheeling, cascading, a stream of consciousness, a waterfall of words, scraps of description, simile or whimsical verse, lyrical syllables waltz. Ideas are electric, circuits switched to live. Mold them, shape them, skeleton built from inky letters. Swap out cogs and gears until it's running smooth. Draft follows redraft, always room to improve. Carving wisdom from the stone. Keep chipping away, and the words will reveal all. Embrace them, submerged within the flow of creativity. Don't mock it, don't knock it, just let the writing go, where it'll take you until you venture down that path, neither you or I will know. Put your spin on things, share your interpretation, unlock your thoughts, unleash a torrent. That's the magic power within your imagination. And that's that one. So there we are. And it'll be Hazel next. Thank you very much. Hazel.
Try and remember to unmute me. Is that? You can hear me, yeah? Good. I suppose was an example of just seeing where the words take you. I did a few of those writing hours at the Kendal Poetry Festival that was online the other week, and got this one out of it. So it's just ways to claim writer status. Buy books. Build a library of writers whose tribe you want to belong to. So many books you may never have the time to read, but whose amassed talents spill to be soaked up by osmosis. Buy books on how to write. Study the lives of writers, poets. How do they create? Attend writing workshops. Keep a diary. You would die if anyone else read. You're not aiming for Anne Frank status. The kind of immortality she wrote depended on scant weeks of survival. Remember how you hated dictation at school, the tyranny of transcribing dictated words, how back then your hand could travel across the page while your imagination roamed in other worlds. Whisper the word to yourself under your covers at night. Buy notebooks and more notebooks. Travel, even if it's only via Google. Read in all the spaces in the day and write. If you're awake, make sure you have a pen and pages to fill. One day, you might make it to poet. That was that.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And Mark.
This one's called Survival. Survival. Dawn breaks, -5. Beck's frozen. Robin sings melodious notes in the chill. Red statement, feathers furled. Rivals warned. Claiming territory, complex lives. Spectacular violence. The honor, the glory, survival. Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Excellent. Okay. Jeanette Fisher.
I've not been to SpeakEasy in that for a long time because I've been struggling with really bad writer's block. And I found a mentor who said to go back to what I know and write about family, friends, things that have happened, and see just what comes out of them. And so this is one of the things that has come out of that. It's called Gone Fishing. We used to go fishing, my dad and I, each weekend. You'd find us beside the sea, those days beneath the vast Solway skies, with the man I idolised were precious to me. He'd wake me gently at dawn's early light, packed picnic and gear in the boot of the car, with birds singing, breaking the silence of the night, brightness dimming the heavenly stars. On our journey, I'd talk incessantly. As along roads we'd weave and wind, my dad driving, listening to me patiently. If my chatter minded, he paid no mind. At Silleth, we'd set up our fishing gear, Dad see casters and reels, my paternoster line, waiting until the tide was near before dropping the weighted and baited twine into the water, in the hope of a catch, perhaps plaice or flounder to take home to mum. Most days were fruitless. Others we'd have a batch to show for our toil when the day was done. Back home, fed and bathed, tucked up in bed, I'd relive the day, replaying it in my mind, all that we'd done, all that we'd said, memories that a dad and daughter bind. The trips weren't about if the fish struck the line. They were of love and learning of life, about a father and daughter's lives entwined until the day she'd become another man's wife. Looking back now on those halcyon days, they were some of the best days I had and made me me in so many ways. Those glorious day trips, fishing with Dad.
Oh, that was lovely. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Okay, Susan.
Hi. Well, it seems quite appropriate for today, well, now at the moment. This is an exercise that's been done for the writers group about writing something comforting when the wind is blowing down the chimney. So this is my response to that. When the wind blows down the chimney, let it breathe into your soul, carrying the song from sky to earth. It brings the melody I sing to you, snatched from exhalations of joy into the heart of you. This wind brings with it stardust, making you heavenly, songs from angels watching over you. When the wind blows hardest, that is when I dream of you and leave my mortal body to hold your astral hand. The ghost of me walks with you, and I am haunted by your distance. When the wind blows down your chimney, it brings me to you, singing my song of togetherness.
Thank you very much. Really good. George, what have you got for us?
Yeah, sorry, it's not very cheery tonight because I think the title just tells you what it is. On a close friend telling me their cancer has returned. Light shuts round us. I stumble out the expected, words stored for such news, like kissing babies, patting youngsters' head, dropping eyes, the sigh. You take me into that half-world where I walked with death and death did not frighten me. Yet I raged when his casual reaping harvested others. We let necessary moments sway the path of our friendship, agree inoperable and terminal are flexible messengers of time, echoes of when mothers kissed us better. I leave you to your waiting, go to my ghosts who now crowd the edges of this room. I make tea, the learned response, a ritual healing of sorrow, emotions trapped in the clink of china, adult salve now being mother to comfort with cup and biscuit. Shadows whisper, I greet the dead, faces, bodies, feel the embrace until I lean, fall. I ask the walls, was what I said all right? Think on words in the wrong place. Realize any words are right and wrong. Tis the saying which carries your heart.
Thanks, George. That was, well, understandably very, very powerful. Thank you for sharing that. That was lovely sentiments. Okay, Jean, hello.
Oh. Just got the right glasses on. Okay. This is called The Sound of an Organ. To no longer like the sound of an organ is to be indifferent to the fresh taste of treacle black coffee, or to be a rusty gate hinge where the latch misses the post, or a peacock butterfly with one cat-chewed wing, two hands interlocked with one finger missing, a castellated house with leprosy in the stone, a piccolo thumb-stopped, a comet probe tipped forever in the shade, a tulip bulb in a deep freezer. I don't think everybody will agree with me there, but that's how I would feel.
Oh, they were lovely images. That was great. Thank you very much. Okay, Jutta, hello.
So you can't see me all. I've got a microphone here. I'm going to try to put it on the book to see. So I'm going to do two things. Just one short poem about what happens in kitchens. What would you know? There's a twiney in my house, orange turning, flame throwing, fumes spitting, hissing, orange dragon, kitchen dragon. Why don't you fly off when you finish demolishing my kitchen and filling it with your fire? That was good. Right, and now I'm going to sing you a Donovan song, which I love. I'm just going to have to rearrange things so I can see my lyrics. So you won't see me now, but don't be frightened. You will hear me. Is that okay?
That's okay.
Great. On a wagon bound for market, there's a calf with a mournful light. High above him there's a swallow winging swiftly through the sky. How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half a summer's night. Donna, 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 donna. Donna, 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 donna. Stop complaining, said the farmer. Who told you what a calf to be? Why don't you have wings to fly with, like a swallow has learned to fly? How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half summer's night. Donna, 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 donna. Donna, 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 donna. Calves are easily bound and slaughtered, never knowing the reason why. But whoever treasures freedom, like a swallow has learned to fly. How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half a summer's night. Donna, 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 donna. Donna, 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 donna. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really good. Good. All right. Val, we're with you. Hello. Have you got something for us, Val?
This one's inspired by a walk around the cemetery. It's called Forgotten People. They say that people die twice. The first time you physically die and are buried in the churchyard, whilst the vicar says his prayers and the mourners scatter flowers around your freshly dug grave. Then, when the people who loved you, cherished your memory and held you in their hearts are all gone, you die a second time, no longer remembered, just an unknown, forgotten face on an old photograph and a name engraved on a gravestone.
That was good, but a little bit sad, but it was good. There's some slightly sad things this evening already. I hope there's some joyful stuff at some point. Ross, what have you got for us?
Hi everybody. I don't know about joy, but this is again, this is a kind of writing group exercise that we did, and the kind of prompt was to talk about something that you missed, from the times that seem, well, so long ago now, when you could go out and do stuff. So one of the things that leapt to my mind was kind of live music and festivals and things like that. So I wrote about that, and I think it's a VNL, unless I messed it up, so apologies to the purists. But this is called The Punk Laments the Pit. To be part of something, collective being, in the thick of it, so vital, so vibrant, sweat-soaked bodies, a collected feeling, grubby mass of flesh, believing and seething, as it should be, at the vanguard, violent, to be part of something, collective being, intermittent hoots and howls, Jay screaming, lyrics in my face, stripped down to the waist, sweat-soaked bodies, a collected feeling. Long ago, now, the yearning, the needing for movement, proximity, closeness, haste, to be part of something, collective being. Pit in modern climes, unworthy conceiving, all seem naughty then, dangerous even. Sweat-soaked bodies, a collective feeling. Maybe, again, this tunnel's misleading, distancing, killing, gatherings, stone dead, to be part of something, collective being. Sweat-soaked bodies, a collective feeling. Thank you.
Yeah, really good. And hopefully, hopefully festivals will return. Cool. All right. Jeanetto.
Hello.
Hello.
I've joined Harry Gallagher's poetry class, and we covered a few forms on Saturday at the first lesson, and one was a tanka. And as you know, I do like the odd haiku. So I didn't know about a tanka, and for those of you who maybe don't, it's 575 syllables, but I did read a 7 and a 7. So here's my little go at that. Counting on fingers in rhythm of poetry, learning to tanka. Elongating the haiku, 14 syllables added. And that's that.
That was brilliant. And you say that was with Harry Gallagher?
It was, yes. Yeah.
We like Harry.
And that's why I'm missing John. Yeah, too.
You're missing the John Hegley thing because of Harry Gallagher, though. Oh.
Yeah, well, I've paid up, you see, so I was partly thinking, can I have two? One on my iPad, one on the laptop.
Oh well. We'll ask John Hegley and see what we can do with that.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, really good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okie dokie. And then Roz. Evening, Roz.
Evening. Can you hear me all right? My internet's a
loud
little
and
bit
clear.
wobbly tonight, so I thought I'd read this about wind that I was going to read. Last time it was windy and my internet went off and I didn't get to it. Anyway, it's not quite as poetic as Susan's. It's called an ill wind. When the east wind blows, it turns cold, then snows, and the incoming breeze made me shiver and freeze. It howled and it roared, rattled my windows and doors. Then a wild windy gust made their hinges all bust, and gales rushed through the room like harbingers of doom, with the portents of pain wrought by the hurricane, while the house gets wind lashed and everything's smashed, and the whispering wind mumbles, even as everything crumbles. To replace possessions thinned by the vicious whirlwind, get an insurance claim form in the aftermath of the storm. When the cyclone's blown through, get everything new. It's an ill wind that blows, nobody any good, I suppose. And that was that.
That was wonderful. Yeah, I might have to dig out my poem about the wind later on then, if there seems to be a theme developing. Okay, Ali, we're with you. Hello.
Hello. Well, leaving the winds behind with my poem and venturing to the sunny climes of Spain. Alpujarras. Iberian lizards scuttle across limestone walls. Rosemary fans release crushed leaf scent waves. Garden platforms clutch abandoned fincas, lost almond terraces, wild oat lapped. Red pathways zigzag up to the threshing floor. Mirador era perched on exposed mountainside. A cobble-flagged circle as big as an arena where families winnowed wheat. Wind catches luminous husks, insect wing fragile. Light splinters evening dust motes, chaff and voices drift. Cool shadows chase gold up high scree slopes.
That was great. Thank you very much. Cool. Okay, Ursula.
It's a kind of two poems together kind of thing, but two little ones made into one, you know. Off the walls and papers. Wallpapers are coming off the walls and words are peeling off behind them. Those papers now here without words, for they have escaped. Now those words in themselves filling open and find spaces, fling open and find spaces to reveal messages of stories that had once lived upon a time. Before the wall with its wallpaper, they were alive, those stories, and now, and not just on paper. Those words became messengers of another world, which that story had inhabited, a world in place, a spirit of place, has here slipped through the surface from underneath the deterioration that represent the lines and frontiers of the present. Story was overhung, folded too. It hadn't really started. Instead, it was just hanging there until it fell off from the top, just like from the wallpaper. Then it lay there long, stretched, strong, unmistakably moving. Something is going on in the field outside where it had walked ahead of me. That's where I learned about directions. They line up when you least expect, to read between the lines, trying to make a point instead. But there it was, like an animal, casting me in its outlines, still holding onto myself. I wondered if that was me now, migrated.
was great. Fantastic.
Oh, great, thanks. Are you done?
Yeah,
Okay. What are you saying?
sorry.
Don't worry, we're always this professional. It's fine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had a clash that hasn't manifested, so luckily I'm here for a duration.
That's the best kind of clash that doesn't manifest.
So yeah, this one is it's literally hot off the press. So I haven't read it yet. So it's called Chicken All Week. Right, because of that, we're having chicken all week. Really expensive, indeterminate chicken parts made to look like vegetables. Goes off in 2 days, all week, 2 weeks even. Goes off immediately. Have to recook it straight away. Liquid rendered. Indeterminate chicken parts made to look like vegetables. Goes off in minutes, coated in salt with monosodium glutamate jackets. Comminuted chicken derivatives all week long. 200 quid at least. Extra special offer. Added expense. Mega volatile. 110% hypervolatile, perishable, unbiodegradable, indeterminate chicken paste all week, made to look like vegetables, all nutrients removed, pure trans fats, extra gluten, hyperallergenic, indeterminate chicken parts, all week, 2 weeks even, because of that. How long's it going to be then? It could be all over soon. How much can you take? Chicken all week. Thank you.
Very good. That's a question for our time, I think.
It does relate. Yes. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's a ping part.
That's a ping of congratulations. That was great. Cool.
Thank you.
We'll probably go around the room again. So if you guys want to dig out another poem each, and then that would be great to hear again from you next time around the room. Does that sound cool?
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. I said he sent his apologies, but Fernando Smith has pre-recorded some stuff, and he said, "Oh, you can play this if it's any good." That's my not very good impression of him. And he said, one is a song. It's a song, and it's called Sammy's Hill, and it's written about a local meeting up spot, a place of play from back in his childhood, growing up in Fishpool in Bury. And he's recorded this song, and I'll try and play it, but I don't know. We'll see how the audio is, but I'll give it a go, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I'll just put it in the edit. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens. Can you hear that?
Sammy's Hill was a mound, an earth mound that I think had been left over from the bombings in the war. And when I was a boy, I used to play on Sammy's Hill. We all used to play on Sammy's Hill. We'd say, "I'll meet you at Sammy's Hill." That's where you'd go to school. You'd meet people at Sammy's Hill. Sammy was a cobbler, apparently. This was in Fishpool in Bury, near Manchester. And this is called Sammy's Hill. It's a simple song. I waited such a long waiting for you, waiting for you. I did wait for you. Calling you, calling you, up here on Sammy's hill. I did wait for you. Such a long, such a long time. Waiting for you.
Fernando Smith, everybody. He told us one time, he said, oh, I was thinking of franchising Fernando Smith out as, so other people could be Fernando Smith. So I could be Fernando Smith, but sort of spelt with a PH as Fernando. Anyway, enough of this silliness. I found my poem about the wind. Do you want to hear that one? Okie dokie. And this was written when Storm Desmond was happening, and fortunately I live on a hill, but my main memory was the ferocious winds that was, as well as all the rain that was coming down. There was these winds, and I could hear helicopters and all sorts. And this is The Man Who Was Scared of the Wind. It goes like this. I asked the old man, they say you're scared of the wind. He looked at me wearily, having been asked this question before, and before that again, no doubt. What of it? Well, I hesitated, because I am British, and it just isn't done to pry. But then again, how could anyone ever learn anything without asking, why? Are you scared of the wind? I was scared of the wind, and a mighty wind it was, said he, as a distant look swept into his eyes. Not just a gale, you understand, or a hurricane, not even a typhoon, not a whirlwind or tornado, oh no, but a great wind from the heavens, from high above, roaring like a beast, an invisible creature tearing across the land and the seas, tearing down houses and ripping up trees. This great power blew along unchallenged. In the darkest black night, you could hear it fighting beech trees, firs, ashes and oaks. In the harbours and seashore, scattered splinters of boats. Even people were caught up and blown far away. People? I asked. So I heard. An old man and his wife, swept right off their feet and funneled up into the sky. Did they ever? My words hung in the air. No, never. And you ask if I was scared of the wind? Why, yes. That's how this conversation beginned. And that's that one. So there you go. That's from the Whimsy collection. Thank you very much. Hazel, we're back with you.
We are, hopefully even with sound. I think I might actually have read this at Poets Out Loud, but I think that was back in November 2017. So hopefully nobody who's actually here tonight actually remembers it. Shouldn't think you will, but I wanted to read it, I guess, because Ross did a piece on the Edinburgh Festival, and this was my piece that anyway, stop waffling, Hazel, get on with it. August in Edinburgh. August, and madness permeates Edinburgh. The city inhabits its Jekyll and Hyde persona flamboyantly, loud and proud of its zany mania. Fringe performers cluster in crazy clumps at the castle end of the Royal Mile, main focus of the festival melee. Maybe magnetised, polarised by the nightly spectacle of Edinburgh Festival's famed military tattoo, an electric, eclectic soup of cosmopolitan theatre, art and music. Desperation leaks alongside frivolity as fringe participants risk bankruptcy for the kudos of a presence near the Pleasance or any of the venues of the prestigious Free Fringe. Performers frantically vie for the attention of passers-by, and bewildered tourists, dour citizens, often grimly set apart, like aging parents barely tolerant of wild teenage parties, grumbling their way through the milling crowds, spilling fizzing frenzies into the great Gothic heart of the city. Mum and I succumbed to the charming pleas of the actor starring in Sinatra and Me, an hour more than well spent in the bowels of an Edinburgh pub. He opens with the reminder that following dreams is a spiritual quest, rewarded with synchronicity and joy. It could happen to you. Mum and I toast our experience of Sinatra and happenstance with baby Guinnesses and porn star martinis, tipsily tripping home for tea, TV, and a traipse through the titles of the Festival 2017 programme. Trash Test Dummies, Peace, Love and Potatoes, The Concrete Jungle Book, Cosmic Scallies, my only plunder. No poem in this year's titles then. And that was it. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I think you could do a found poem from all the flyers of all the titles of the shows, couldn't you? Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah. That was great. So evocative of it. It's hopefully it'll be back soon as well.
I was quite struck by how nostalgic I felt for the festival, just, in revisiting the poem and thinking, my goodness, maybe it'll never be quite that way again. But anyway.
We shall see.
Mark,
what have you got for us?
A small poem about the Solway Delta. It's called Sundog. Sundog, dipping behind cloud, the sun's rays fade. Golden reflection shimmers on the ebbing tide. Criffle, monochrome silhouette against the mackerel sky. Sundog hangs from the crescent moon. Gossamer cobwebs vibrate in the cooling air. Pee-wit display, proving their salt. Thank you.
I like that well-known phrase about Criffle. You know that one? If you can see Criffle, it's going to rain. If you can't, it's already raining.
Yeah.
The old ones are the best. Jeanette Fisher, hello. What have you got for us this time?
Yeah, just another one. It's called I'm working from home at the moment, and even though I'm working from home, I'm still as busy as I was when I was in the office, and having 2 furlough days a week is not helping. So I wrote this from it. It's called Office Blues. The phone keeps ringing off the hook. My to-do list is as long as your arm. I'm reaching the end of my tether, fighting hard to keep my calm. 10 years ago, I'd be the picture of Zen, taking the pressure all in my stride. As I've got older, my patience has stretched itself thin. There are days I could easily run away and hide. If I'm truthful, I'm ready for retirement and sipping cocktails on some faraway beach. But the government keeps upping the retiring age, putting my dreams well out of reach. At this rate, I'll retire at 80 if I don't pop my clogs by then. That's assuming the Minister of Employment doesn't raise the retirement age again. Having worked full time for most of my life, the ministry owes me some care. Having fed the taxman coffers for years, I think I can say I've earned my share. As a woman born in the 50s, the state has stolen my pension pot. For any hope of early retirement, winning the lottery is my best shot. Until that happens, it's nose to the grindstone. Work hard each day to earn my pay and dream of margaritas, watching sunsets on a lounger on a beach on Acapulco Bay.
Oh, well. Hopefully those blues will clear up soon. Great stuff. Susan, what have you got for us this time?
I haven't read this for a while, and it's something that so when I was walking with a friend along the A6, it's called The Dead Run Free. I saw the hind legs of a hare, still intact and strong, as all around lay opened entrails and the rest, and scattered pelt, smashed and carried along the road, now carrion. I thought of pies, of stew, of whether it was something I could do, a roadkill menu. The majesty, a memory. The chance to mate, to forage, leap, all gone. No sideways bound evading this hunter with bright eyes, the impact snuffing life. I mourned for several seconds and reflected that I never see one live, rarely see one, almost never, rarely, chance upon the black-tipped ears against the greens of long grass meadows. Same with badgers, foxes, country cats, a squirrel I occasionally see, never snakes except a dead one once, and once a mole, whose dignity in death I kept by putting him in a hedge rather than subject him to ungainly gallows swinging from my bike. He was no criminal, well, not to me, whose field he hadn't furrowed. I had a chance to study him, so perfect and unusual was his appearance in my path. I moved him from the road. Did he move me from mine? His presence in my present remains despite it being the past. I passed this hare, not much there, save those 2 back feet. Those memories alive at least of louping, leaping, running, bounding, the dead still running free. I left the memory of escape behind me and carried on along the road, into the rain, out of the lee.
Well, thank you very much. So, come back to the sad stories again now. What have we got next? George.
Yeah, Phil. No, I'm usually surrounded by a cascade of poems, so I've rummaged through things to see if I got something which isn't about death and destruction, because I had a few things about nuclear war, but I've chucked those aside.
No, add that in.
Can we have something cheery? So this is actually up at the moment on Fife Contemporary Arts in conjunction with the Stanza Poetry Festival, because there was a call they put out asking for, I think the theme was mend, but it was partly about recycling. So hopefully this is, and I actually did do it, having written about it, which is cardboard packaging. Such a complicated shape, designed to protect the computer from the dangers of transportation. It unravels into unwieldy shapes, like some octopus struggling to escape, and I toss it into the garage for later annihilation, where it stares at me accusingly, saying, surely I'm too good to waste. See how I can be reformed structurally sound. And I have a vision of unsightly pipes, of a cover I would make in wood and should now make in this sturdy cardboard, this gift of a box. Stanley knife and tape measure, steady hand and the infamous sticky-backed plastic give me something for nothing, the satisfaction of recycling.
Good stuff. Recycling. That's really excellent. Great. Jean, do you have another one for us?
I do, and it's another sad one, I'm afraid. It's called Surprise. You know there's no point worrying about the world, the stuff and trivia that euthanizes fear. You're going under a bus, or the one that leaves without you. Missed deadlines, meetings, bills, and other shite that doesn't all revolve round you, but keeps you turning in your bed at night. You know it can all reverse in an afternoon, but still you're surprised by snow, the strength of bulbs, how quickly soft fruit suppurates, how wide awake at 4 a.m. feels more like dead, how little 20 quid buys nowadays, how alert your cat's ears are in repose, how much your dad hates Sunderland FC, and how the carer who nursed your mum only 2 days still cried at the funeral, how other people you're entwined with die, and how their absence rewrites you hard in broken code and permafrost, and how it all comes back to this, to love and loss, because that's what you're the fulcrum of. Sorry.
Thank you, Jean. That was very powerful, and I like the cat joining in there as well. That was wonderful. Being heckled by your own pets. No, it's all right. It wouldn't be Zoom without animals wandering in. Don't get this at the source or at Wild Zucchinis. Oh, no, that's not true. Sometimes I can't remember whose dog it was, but somebody's dog sometimes would come into the cafe in Cockermouth. Was it Manon who runs the cafe? Was it her dog? I can't remember. Anyway, who's next? Jutta, I think. If you've got anything else, Jutta.
Well, I'm going to take you a bit back in time.
Okay.
when I still lived in northern Germany, and I was 18. We had this very close-knit family between my mother and my aunt, and we always did things together. And my aunt had a very dominant mother-in-law, and she would dominate Christmas. So one Christmas, we decided we're not going to have Christmas. We're going to get away. And we got away. We booked a holiday on an island with no cars. So everything was stuffed in the car, everything we needed. We went off to the ferry. We had a little accident on the way, but never mind. We made it to the ferry, sweating and threatened and all that. So we come to this beautiful little island, rabbits, pheasants, nothing flies away. Everything's tame. Wonderful winter, bleached grass, everything. And one night there was a storm. And this storm made noises in the wind that I've never heard before. So that inspired my then partner, his name's Stefan. And he wrote a little song, which I only remember one of the verses. I'm going to sing it to you in German. It is about what often happens in these storms, unfortunately, on the North Sea. There's a boat out there, there's a fisherman out there, there's a boat out there. It's stormy, people are worried. We believe in Germany, and Ursula might know that, in a little figurine. And he comes to the ships that are doomed, and he's called a Klabautermann. So that song's about that. So here it goes. Janosen schaut zum Fenster raus und blickt hinaus aufs Meer. Ein Schiff ist noch da draußen und die Brandung geht schwer. Der Regen peitscht die Wellen, der Wind wird zum Orkan. Und draußen vor der Küste lacht der Klabautermann. Well, that's all I remember. I'm sorry.
That was great, really atmospheric, and I love the little introduction as well, putting that into context. That was great, because there's quite a few sort of myths and legends about little carvings and figures and things, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Right across the world, in fact. But yeah. Magic. Cool. Thanks very much. Val, we're with you again. Do you have another one for us, Val?
No, I don't have another.
Not another one? Okay, no worries. We'll go and see if Ross has got another one for us then.
Hello, yeah, I've got another one. I think I wrote this ahead of last time, but didn't read it out, so I'll do it this time. And it's kind of about misplaced nostalgia. It's called Be Kind, Rewind. Small orange circular sticker, so faded with the rigours of time and the fingers that frayed the edges grotesquely and ineptly, trying to get it off, maybe a lifetime ago. Even bigger than a memory, this chunky, clunky, most definitely physical thing, this spaceship of the past. It sits unwelcome and ungainly on any given surface. My perplexed nephew asks, "What's that, Uncle Ross?" Well, it's what we used to do. An oversized, overstuffed clamshell that's never going to fit on your shelf. Ex-rental, ex-loved, all but expired. Telltale glitches and skips of voyeuristic infatuation, whether it be upon breasts or gore. Someone, somewhere that went before, ended up wanting much, much more, and could distort time, rewind to get their goal. Time's deterioration, the lines on a pensioner's face, defunct, dejected, and discontinued. A history of violence, an appropriate title card to end it all on. But Be Kind, Rewind is not just a rhyming, pleasing plea to me. It is a clarion call for a better way of living, a better way to be. Thank you.
Excellent stuff. Cool. Jeanette. Oh.
Oh, oh no. I've been having a rummage, and this is one that was actually one of Hazel's prompts when you led our writing class, Hazel. I don't know if you remember it. It's called Fireside Tale. I'll get the glasses off. Come sit round the fire and add to the story. Travellers, please join and share with us your glory. We all are believers, we'll hang on your tail. Pretend about truth, our ears never fail. We welcome the quirky, they always bring hope. The wishers, the dreamers, inspire those who can't cope. Come sit by the fire and tell me your fable. We all have a story and everyone's able. I'm on so I can see you all again. Thank you.
That was terrific. Everyone is able. I like that. That's brilliant. Well said. That's a little mantra there. I think I like that one a lot. Excellent. Okay. Roz. I got it right this time. Roz, hello.
Hello. This is something I found in the loft the other day when I was sorting things out, but I've just sort of rewritten it really. But anyways, nothing really to do with where I am at the minute, but never mind. I've lost my little button. There we go. It's called Could Do Better. With their knowledge of psychology, educationalists should be able to see and perhaps explain the reason why common sense seems not to apply to the children who struggle at 7, who are refused help until they're 11. The reason schools give up, I think you'll find, is they're not yet far enough behind. It results from this strange enigma that a child suffers with the stigma of being the one in the dunce's hat, and pretty soon they assimilate that, which means 11 is far too late. The child becomes resigned to the fate of never succeeding academically and grows to see education polemically. We're doing our best, the teachers wail, as yet another child fails. But the fact of the matter, of course, is to do with limited resources. And that was that. It was based on a friend who had a son who was very dyslexic.
Well, again, a powerful message in there, Roz, and yeah, well said. Yeah, we've sort of strayed into being sort of like poets with messages now. Protest poets. Yeah. Vive la revolution. Cool. Where are we up to? Ali Bar. Hello.
Well, this next poem might have one message in it. Might have been a bit of a protest. It's called Iona Bog. Alison, don't go near the bog. Keep away from it. I wait until they're not looking, dash over to the bright ribbon of forbidden bog and step in. Water goes up to my knees, oozes into my sandals. Alison, get out of the bog! I can't, and stand there quite happily, watching surface weeds ring my legs with frilly garters. Mum and Dad come over and pull me out by the arms. I am a pipe cleaner doll dripping black peat mud. They buy me new white socks at the village shop. Then we all go down to the beach to eat orange ice lollies. I like the bog. It made my day. Mum and Dad won't forget it either. And in some ways, I'm still in the bog.
Excellent stuff. Great. I love that sense of defying rules and doing what you want. That's brilliant. That explains a lot, actually, why you're such a rebel. Okay, Ursula, hello. Have you got another one for us?
Oh, it's always such a struggle to find the unmute button, but actually, yes, I've got it. Yeah. Yes, I do. Actually, oh God, where is it? Yes, I wrote this afternoon actually because a good friend of mine has actually died last week. So it's about that, and it's about our, I mean, it's actually kind of about our kind of radical actions a bit. She knew things deeply. The space between us was lively, full of energy, deep and daring. We discussed all aspects of life, between the system and the revolution, how we get squeezed in different ways, and how our differences are used somehow to divide and rule. Her insight was committed and concise. They wouldn't know what to make of us. She, Black, Caribbean, and British, me, white, European, and foreign. We filled up an awkward space of non-belonging and non-expecting by and for the wider world around us. She paid a high price for her participation in the revolution, if that's what we want to call it, the desire to contribute to change that's needed to right the wrongs against communities or individuals stuck in the gaps and the cracks of expectations they have about us. We were both displaced in different ways, both torn from time to time between cultures, hardly visible or known to others beyond those considered ours. A woman's places in the home is bad enough, but where do they say our place may be when they told us to go back home elsewhere? Whilst still being thought of as different kinds of cultures or strangers that we are. And on some level, people don't get their heads around that. Strange, isn't it? Who will know now what we shared and what and where we were? How does a life go on living?
Wow, that was lovely, and I'm very sorry to hear about your friend.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a pity. I mean, we had a long Zoom meeting with all of us, some of us who knew her, and yeah, it's just really, it's sad, but yeah.
But that was a lovely piece. So that's a
Oh,
lovely way to remember her.
thank you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And you got one.
And Simon, yes, hello.
Great.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, this is a short one that I wrote in the beginning of the first lockdown, which seems like a millennium ago. And it's called 2020 Masquerade. I mask. You mask. She, they, it, he masks. We are masking. I bubble. You bubble. They, he, it, she bubbles. I think. Nah, scratch that one. That's it.
Yeah, that was really good as well. I think that fits into the poetry with messages thing that we've stumbled upon this evening. So excellent stuff.
Thank you. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah, Fernando Smith sent me another piece. Was it okay? Was the audio okay last time? I don't know if it was a bit quiet or was it okay? Okay, I'll see if I can get this to work.
Chinese whispers on the theme of wormwood. We're at the end of a dream. The cows call out angels. Ships pull their moorings and drown. The president weeps when the cameras blink. A great star falls into the bitter river. Here, on the corner of duty and kindness, we will wait with tired hearts pounding a little more gently, then less and less and less and less. All we did is counted, tallied. A golden horn pierces the eyes of unborn children. Sulphur reeks from earth's armpits, and we are at last revealed to the forensic eye. Horny dogs mount frigid apes raped by bad men. Belladonna stains our fingers. We scratch at our eyes, and they grow dark. The little girl stares at a fuzzy screen. Broadband feeds her belly. At times like these, where even the light-hearted feel cornered, the coda is stranger to the verse. Here, on the corner of love and hope, we will dance with our open hearts, cautious and a little more brightly in hope from the corner. With hope from the love. With hope from the recovered air, perhaps clearing.
Yeah, there we are, Fernando Smith. Cool. All right. Do we want to do one more quick round? If anybody's got an extra poem, we can rattle through, and then we can wrap things up. Does that sound okay?
I forgot to mention something, not a poem as such, but on the 21st of this month is World Poetry Day.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, yeah, I just want to mention that. And I wrote this poem actually because I was reminded by a theatre to send in a poem, and that theatre is actually in Germany, and they put kind of poems out in on public notice boards. So I was thinking maybe for the day to kind of put a poem on some kind of notice board, you know, just to kind of say it's poetry day, you know. Send a poem to the world. Yeah.
That's great. Did you want to read it now, and then we can go back round, or I know Susan says she's got to dash off. But
yeah, I haven't got it now actually.
Oh.
Though I'll kind of, yeah, I no, it's not here.
That's okay. That's okay. Are you going to dash off, Susan?
Yeah, bye everyone. I'll see you at various Zooms across the weeks. So bye.
Thanks. Good to see you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Get home safe. That's the old joke, isn't it? On Zoom. Okie dokie. What do we got? Do you want a funny one, or do you want a song? Okay, we'll do the funny one, shall we? Yeah? Funny one? Okay, we'll do the funny one. To survive lockdown, I've been listening to a lot of radio stuff, podcasts and bits and pieces on YouTube, and one of the perennial favorites is I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. The antidote to panel games, and the stuff on YouTube and the stuff on the iPlayer. And some of the rounds they do is a particular themed film club. Puns of film titles based on a particular, what am I trying to say? Some kind of particular group or club. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that would apply to a sort of. I did some before last year, which were birds, and they were film titles with bird puns in them. And I'm now going to subject you to hat-based film puns. I'll go through my list, and then if anyone else wants to join in, I'm sure we can add them to the list.
Cat or hat, Phil?
Hat. It's the Milliners Film Club. Okay, so here we are. Cool hat, Luke. Yeah, there's going to be like obscure films. Well, maybe not. How to Marry a Milliner. License to Trilby. Top Hat. Now that's a genuine one, so that's okay. North by Sou'wester. Oh, my friend Joe came up with this one. Fedora the Explorer. Slumdog Millionaire. Busby Malone. Die Hat. Mr. Beanie's Holiday. The Deer Stalker. The Tailor of Panama Hats. Na 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 na. Hatman. Hatman Returns. Hatman Forever. Hatman Begins. There's a theme developing here. They died with their hats on. Dante's Peak. Indy Bandana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skullcap. Wide Brim Stoker's Dracula. Revenge of the Pith Helmet. Die Hat 2. Die Hatter. The Fez Connection. Bring Me the Headgear of Alfredo Garcia. The Man Without a Hat. Robin Hood. A Proper Coonskin Cap Now. Raiders of the Lost Hat. Top Cappy. Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Fascinator. Bonnet and Clyde. Helmet or High Water. The Wizard Hat of Oz. Milliners Crossing. Empire of the Sun Hat. Die Hat with a Vengeance. Derby Goes Bananas. Pork Pie the Sailor Man. Desperately Seeking Stetson. And finally, you'll be pleased to hear Hat Woman starring Halle Berry. There you are. I'll do a sad one next time. Where are we at? Hazel, have you got anything you'd like to follow that with?
Oh dear, oh dear. I think did you miss the man with the golden hat? Anyway.
Hey!
I've got a haiku, if that would fit the bill. Scent of fresh silage under an almost full moon, crisp, crunching boot steps. There we go, short and sweet.
Fabulous. Really nice. And Mark, do you have one? Another?
Yeah, I've got a haiku as well. Mull hen harrier, ghostly form, silently drifts, quartering raptor. Thank you.
Very good. I'm sensing there was a haiku workshop I've missed. Great stuff. Good. Jeanette Fisher, have you got another?
I have, if you just bear with me for one moment.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. If anybody else has any more hat puns, please let me know.
Oh, you forgot sombrero, like it hot as well.
Oh yeah, my friend Joe came up with that one as well. Yeah, that's a good one.
The hat and the canary.
This is more like it. Good.
I'm going to finish on a lighter one. I'll just, if I can find it. It's one I wrote years and years ago when the girls were little. And it's called Warzone. I open the door to the bathroom, the girls having just had their bath, and what greets my eyes I can only describe as a nuclear aftermath. The carpet is perfectly sodden, bombarded with towels and clothes. Trickling down tiles is a long sticky mess from the shower gel that wasn't closed. The bath sides covered in shrapnel, bottle tops, bubble bath and shampoo. A blanket of talcum fallout covers toilet, sink and floor too. The hostiles tucked into pajamas, at least warfare now can cease. It's going to take forever to bring this war zone peace. I get to the end of the cleaning. The girl's father comes walking in. Is the water hot enough for a bath? And the mayhem starts again.
My sympathies.
It's still the same now. She's not, the oldest one hasn't learned.
Yay!
We believe you. Thank you very much. And George, do you have another? No.
Yeah, sorry, I was away in another world there for a minute. Sorry, I've dug out something which I thought would be quick and short, and as usual, it's everything around. But this is the first poem I ever had published. This was written when I was 16, so it wasn't yesterday. So this is the Scots Pine. Lonely on a hillside, stark and gaunt, the Scots Pine stands, sentinel of want. Dominates the moorland bleak and grey, bent forever the windy way. Am I a Scots pine on the hill, not a person standing there so still? I was cheery even as a child.
Oh, we still love you for it. It's great. Great. Thank you very much. Jean, do you have another?
Yeah, just a short one. I started finding that I could invent people in sort of poem form. So I've invented a few people, and I found this one. I haven't read this at Speakeasy before, but it makes me want to get my other people poems out and revisit them, because I quite like these people. This is called The Woman Next Door. I've invented this, by the way, it's not true. She's shorter than me. She stands on tiptoe to peg out her washing, which she doesn't do very often. She knocked once and asked me to remove a sparrow from her cupboard under the stairs. There was nothing there. Her hair is grey and spun like a Brillo pad. She pounds the stairs nightly for 23 minutes. I hear a badly tuned violin playing scales daily. She'll take in a parcel like a bomb and give it back like a thief.
That was great. I want to meet more of these people. They sound really curious. Excellent. Jutta, do you have another one for us, Jutta?
Yep. I'll do this singing again. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll put it
excellent.
here.
Yeah.
I'm always aware that this is work in progress. I might just end up in disaster. We'll see. You drive off in your little white car, driving us to Los Angeles. Drive away, drive away, drive away. Stop it. You just go in your little white car, drive away, drive away, drive away. I dreamed of flying in a car, drive away, drive away, drive away.
I like it.
It's born out of anger, believe it or not.
It's a great motivator, anger.
Yeah, it is.
That's cool. Well, I will it progress some more?
Yeah, I hope so. If I don't forget my idea.
Well, we look forward to the next installment. Oh, fantastic. Cool. Okay. Val, you still don't have another one? No? Okay. I thought I'd ask anyway. Ross, do you have another?
I do, but it's handwritten, so it might be a struggle. I wrote this one this morning, but I'll give it a go. It's not that long either. So. It's inspired by I don't know why, but I was thinking about going to Florence with my wife a few years ago, and in the kind of galleries there's like a million kind of paintings called Madonna and Child. So I decided to write one called Madonna and Child, 1989. There was a coffee-coloured coffee table in our living room in Rochdale. Upon its tarnished wooden surface, imprints of World War II fighter planes from where I'd traced too hard. I'd obsess about them, the planes, Spitfires and Hurricanes, in unruly, unlikely, imaginary, badgering stories of jut-jawed heroics, the tracing, the recreating, and the myth-making, not much short of obsessive. Another obsessive ritual. Thursday night, 7:30, on the fridge-sized telly, with equally tarnished wooden surfaces, a goddess dancing amidst burning crosses. The war, the planes, the table seemed terribly long ago. All prior obsessions declared null and void, and a weirdness between my legs from where I'd traced too hard. Thanks.
Excellent. Okay. Jeanette.
Hello.
I'm going to stop calling you that.
So I'm going to change it to Jeanette next time. Right, it's just a quick one. It's called Just a Word. From now on, if I feel down, I'll look up and picture the word sadness in bold, broad yellow print. I'll feel its warmth like sunlight. It'll sound like a sea, smell of oranges and taste like gin. My mood will lift and cheery brightness will make sadness just a word. I'll smile, taste refreshment, lulled by waves, with a warm happiness for all things I'm grateful for. Thank you.
That's lovely. And I know you do that.
What, drink gin?
Well, that has been mentioned a few times. I've noticed that coming up as a theme. But no, painting it in bright yellow and being using your cheerful brightness to banish those gloomy thoughts and things.
Thank you.
That's great. Just what we need as well. Roz, do you have another?
Yep, just a little one. We get a lot of these round coming up and down my road for some reason. Anyway, perhaps this is just your next fad, not your midlife crisis launch pad. Either way, your wife thinks you're mad to yearn for a motorbike you've never had and couldn't afford when you were a lad. So why not spend your money if it makes you glad? Although I can't help feeling it's a little bit sad when roaring up the road, all black leather clad, comes yet another tearaway dad. We get a lot of those for some reason.
Yeah, they think they're free on the country roads, and they're the rebel without a cause, or something like that. Thanks very much. Ali, do you have another?
Yeah, a shorty from me, wind related again. Inside out. Purple crocus has turned inside out in a storm wind. Egg yolk steaming outside in, petals turned down. A satin-gowned ballet dancer spinning across my garden. That's it.
That's one of the things you can always depend on about this time of year, isn't it? All the flowers start to come out and they're like, oh, we're in bloom and everything. And then the wind comes along, goes smash. And you see broken crocuses and daffodils and all sorts. It's just... You're heading off, Jane?
I'm heading off. Night night.
Take
Nice
care.
to see you all. Bye.
I'll see you soon. Bye. Okie dokie. Ursula, have you got another?
I have to do maybe the one that I know by heart. Yeah, that's a really old one from 1998, actually, but that's the kind of, yeah, okay. Echoes of voices. I could never be gone with the wind because I'm always in the wrong direction. The wind is blowing against me. I am blowing against the wind. I try to resist the force. I am practicing resistance. The wind is hard. The blows are hard. The wind is loud. The blows are loud. Noise. I am trying to identify words that reach me as distortions of the echoes of voices coming to me from different viewpoints. How will I be heard after all, and how will I be understood? Will the wind transfer my message or transform it or carry it on like a drum, beating with my heart, not against it? No need to resist it this time. No need to resist it this time. I mean, that's, you know, that's why I sometimes kind of jazz it out.
That was brilliant. Thank you.
And right now, you know, because you're doing your wind one, and right now it's really windy and stormy and rainy, and you know, like really, it's almost like you can hear it on the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Simon, do you have another?
It's a kind of a fragment that I've just found rummaging through my notes that continues, I guess, with the message, if you like, themed. And it's called Algorithmic Poem. It's pretty short, so yeah. Okay. Pity the algorithm, for it knows not me or you. It reaps and sows through highs and lows. Ever on it goes without a clue. That's it.
Well said.
I'm going, I'm gone.
That was great. Cool. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't have an ending.
Oh, it just gets unleashed. That was great. Cool. Fernando Smith didn't send any more clips, so that will probably draw things to a close there. But it's been really good, and I hope everybody's okay with it being recorded, because I know there's a few people joined after we'd said all that. But we're good with that. I'll try and get it edited and posted online tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. Okay, well, thank you all very much. Give yourselves a round of applause, everybody who read. And everybody who sang. Everybody who listened. And everybody who left before the end. And everybody who stayed. And yeah, we'll do it all again. Well, we've got the John Hegley thing on the 20th, so if you're up for that, drop us an email at ColdUPress, or go on the Facebook page and you can contact us on there about that, which will be about John Keats. And we've got another Speakeasy on the 31st of March, so we'll see you then. But really good stuff. Stay safe, stay well, and have a safe trip home.
Good night, everyone. That's great.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Take care.
Night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great
Bye,
stuff.
Paul. Bye, Ali. Bye, Jeanette.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.